Good morning, students. I am Riya Sinha, your SST teacher. Today, we are going to revise our second chapter of civics, that is, understanding secularism. Imagine yourself as a Hindu or Muslim living in a part of the United States of America where Christians fundamentalism is very powerful. Mainly in USA, Christianity is there. Suppose that despite being a US citizen, no one is willing to rent their house to you. How would this make you feel? Would it not make you feel resentful? Obviously, कहीं पे अगर हम लोग जाते हैं और वहाँ पे हमें सारी फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल अगर ना हो या हमें रहने के लिए कोई घर ना देना चाहे, then we feel resentful. What if you decided to complain against this discrimination and were told to go back to India? Would this not make you feel angry? Obviously, your anger could take two forms. First, you might react by saying that Christians should get the same treatment in places where Hindus and Muslims are in a majority. This is a form of retaliation. Or you might take the view that there should be justice for all. You may fight stating that no one should be discriminated against on grounds of their religious practices and beliefs. This statement rests on the assumption that all forms of domination related to religion should end. This is the essence of secularism. In this chapter, we will read more about what secularism means. History provides us with many examples of discrimination, exclusion, and persecution on the grounds of religion. You may have read about how Jews were persecuted in Hitler's Germany and how several millions were killed. Now, however, the Jewish state of Israel treats its own Muslim and Christian minorities quite badly. Similarly, in Saudi Arabia, non-Muslims are not allowed to build a temple, church, etc., and nor can they gather in a public place for prayers. So, in all the above examples, members of one religious community either persecute or discriminate against members of other religious communities. These acts of discrimination take place more easily when one religion is given official recognition by the state at the expense of other religions. डिस्क्रिमिनेशन या भेदभाव हमेशा वहीं पे ज़्यादा देखा जाता है जहाँ पे एक रिलीजन मेजॉरिटी में हो या एक कोई पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप मेजॉरिटी में हो और दूसरा माइनॉरिटी में रहता है. मोस्टली वो खुद को सुपर पावर दिखाने के लिए, सुपीरियर दिखाने के लिए दूसरे पे इन्फोर्स करने की कोशिश करते हैं. So clearly, no one would wish to be discriminated against because of their religion, nor dominated by another religion. In India, can the state discriminate against citizens on grounds of their religion? क्या इंडिया में ऐसा हो सकता है इस तरह का discrimination? Now the question comes, what is secularism? In the previous chapter, also we read about how the Indian Constitution contains fundamental rights that protect us against state power as well as against the tyranny of the majority. The Indian Constitution allows individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices as they interpret these. In keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India also adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. So, secularism refers to this separation of religion from the state. सेक्युलरिज्म बेसिकली कहा जाता है जब किसी भी एक पर्टिकुलर कंट्री का कोई भी ऑफिशियल रिलीजन नहीं होता है, लाइक आर इंडिया. यहाँ पे कोई भी ऑफिशियल रिलीजन नहीं है. हर एक इंडियन सिटीज़न को ये राइट है कि वो अपने अकॉर्डिंग अपना रिलीजन चूज़ कर सकते हैं, उसे प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं. इसके लिए कोई भी उन्हें फोर्स नहीं कर सकता है. इवन सपोज अगर आपका बर्थ एक हिंदू फैमिली में हुआ है एंड इफ़ यू वांट टू convert it into Muslim or Christianity, then you can do that. Now, why is it important to separate religion from the state? As discussed above, the most important aspects of secularism is its separation of religion from state power. This is important for a country to function democratically. Almost all countries of the world will have more than one religious group living in them. Within these religious groups, there will most likely be one group that is in a majority. If this majority religious group has access to state power, then it could quite easily use this power and financial resources to discriminate against and persecute persons of other religions. This tyranny of the majority could result in the discrimination, coercion, and at times even the killing of religious minorities. The majority could quite easily prevent minorities from practicing their religions. Any form of domination based on religion is in violation of the right that a democratic society guarantees to each and every citizen, irrespective of their religion. Therefore, the tyranny of the majority and the violation of fundamental rights that can result is one reason why is it important to separate the state and religion in democratic societies. अगर किसी कंट्री में एक ही ऑफिशियल रिलीजन रखा जाएगा तो ऑब्वियस है कि उस कंट्री में जो भी उस रिलीजन को फॉलो करने वाले लोग हैं वो खुद को सुपीरियर समझने लगेंगे और दूसरे को ओवर पार करने की कोशिश करेंगे, दूसरे को डिस्क्रिमिनेट करने की कोशिश करेंगे. Another reason is that it is important to separate religion from the state in democratic society because we also need to protect the freedom of individuals to exit from their religions, embrace another religion, or have the freedom to interpret religious teachings differently. सेकेंड रीज़न ये बताया गया है कि हर एक इंडिविजुअल को ये छूट होनी चाहिए कि वो अपने मन के अकॉर्डिंग, अपने विल के अकॉर्डिंग वो किसी भी रिलीजन को फॉलो कर सके, दूसरे के रिलीजन को वो एम्ब्रेस कर सके, किसी को वो नीचा ना समझे, हर एक रिलीजन को हर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इक्वल समझा जाए. फॉर understanding this point better, let us take the example of untouchability. You might feel that you dislike this practice within Hinduism and therefore you want to try and reform it. However, if state power were in the hands of those Hindus who support untouchability, then do you think that you would have an easy task to try and change this? Untouchability जो हमारी सोसाइटी में चलता आया था, छुआछूत, अगर देखा जाए तो वो हिंदुज़म में था. अगर इंडिया को एक हिंदू डोमिनेटेड कंट्री बनाया जाता तो ऑब्वियसली अगर वैसे हिंदूज़ यहाँ पे रहते तो अनटचेबिलिटी आज भी यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस किया जाता. सो these members who have control of state power might say that there is only one interpretation of Hinduism and you do not have the freedom to interpret this differently. So now I hope you all understood the covered topics well. Now I am giving you homework. Write and learn these keywords. In the next class we will continue this chapter. Till then, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you.